So guys, thank you for being with us tonight. And tonight's training, we're going to go through a little bit of, our Harmonic scanner. I think this is one of our greatest scanners that we have. And at a recent meeting that I had here in Miami, I did a training on the Harmonic scanner. And what I wanted to do is really give you guys the nuggets, those that weren't there, on exactly what, the Harmonic scanner is, what it does, how it works, and also some tips, tricks, and strategies, as well as some, really just strategies on how to take those trades effectively. And then what we'll do is at the end of tonight, we'll probably have a question and answer time as well. And I know a lot of you guys are newer here. So if this is your first time here, guess what? Just stick with it. There's a saying that says, stick and stay and you'll get your pay. And what that means is, listen, just stick this out. Be patient with yourself. Guys, this is an 18-month commitment as a minimum to learn the skill set and to really thrive on it. And one of the things I want you guys to know is this. I have never, when I say never, I mean zero. I've had 0 times where a person gets onto the platform, uses the platform, uses it consistently, is disciplined and is coachable and doesn't have success. I've literally never had that. I've had uncoachable people not have success. I've had people that don't use the platform not have success. But I've never had people that are disciplined and coachable and use the platform not have success. I've seen everybody here get their pay and get their win and get to the levels they want to get to because they stick with it, they stuck with it, they continue to learn, and they continue to be disciplined until they got to where it is that they wanted to go. All right, guys, so remember that is you use the platform, you give yourself time, you continue to develop yourself and develop your mindset, you will win. Do not cheat yourself out of it, because here's the thing. If you quit before you succeed, you will have people that were on this team get to where you wanted to go, and you will live with regret. And my friends, regret is a terrible word to live with in your later years. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys, and we're going to go ahead and get rocking with this. Who loves that Market Mastery logo, huh? We are the Market Mastery team, fam. Let's go. How many of you guys saw Jay Adams today? How many of you guys are enjoying Jay Adams? All right, guys. So, guys, I'm going to start on TradingView, okay? And I'm not going to go too deep into it, but if you don't have a TradingView subscription, guys, I really encourage you guys to get your TradingView subscription. I see you out there, Andre. Let's go, okay? And so I'm not going to get too much into technical analysis tonight, guys. You guys have go live for all that. But I am going to show you some pretty cool stuff, all right? So first of all, you want to have TradingView. If you get the free version, that's fine. I'm not going to clown you on the free version. If you start making money and you keep the free version, I will clown you. I've seen, pretty big traders that they just keep the free version. I'm the type that says, bro, just pay the 14 bucks and get the one without the ads on it, right? So get your free version to get started with, and then eventually you want to get the $14 one so that you can add more things to it and take away those stupid ads, right? So you want to have your TradingView. Then you're going to go into your im.center. Now I want to show you guys something, because I know that a lot of you guys have had issues logging into your im.center. Just press this little button here. It says retrieve login. It works now. So it wasn't working at first when they first launched the new site. But guys, you put your email here, boom, and you'll get an email right away, and you'll be able to retrieve that password, and you'll be good to go. So when you guys go in, you guys are going to go to products right over here on the left-hand side. You're going to scroll down. Now listen, if you have the binary package, you will not have this Harmonic scanner that I'm about to show you. Okay, so just understand that. And if you do have the regular platinum package, you will have this. And then if you have the elite package, which has everything, you're going to have all of these scanners. Guys, we have over 12 scanners that you have access to. Use them, okay, because they're very, very powerful tools. So again, you go to products, scroll down, FRX, and you're going to hit the Harmonic scanner button. And here it is. Now, guys, I'll tell you, even though we have a lot of scanners, my overall favorite Forex scanner is still the Harmonic scanner. I think this thing is amazing. Truthfully, we used to charge $500 a month just for the Harmonic scanner and Chris Terry's live sessions, which is our CEO. $500 a month. Now, for the $165 a month platinum package, you got the Harmonic scanner built in. All right. So when you go in here, there's a couple of key things. One, if you have the Elite Pack, you can scroll through the different scanners here. And guys, they're still working out some of the bugs in the new center, so be patient. But they're building this thing out. Guys, a year from now, 2 years from now, what we have here in this IM center is going to be so ridiculous. Guys, it's amazing. If you would have seen what our first back office looked like when I got in 2 years ago, what a difference, right? And you could ask, I think the only person that would remember that on this call is Mr. Greg Briette, my partner out in Texas. But guys, they've really remodeled this. It's beautiful now. So when you go in, these are the different scanners you have here. Yes, you can also draw, just like TradingView. You can draw on this here, guys, okay? But really the important stuff is none of that. What matters the most is that you go to the right-hand side over here, and number one, you're going to be able to pick from different brokers, okay? Different brokers, basically, they measure the pip counts slightly different. They're measuring the inputs of the markets a little differently. So what the scanner does is it actually scans it according to different brokers because you'll get different patterns. Now, let's say, for instance, if you guys have a Hugo's Way account, does that mean you cannot use scans from FX Choice? No, you can still use the scans from FX Choice because they're going to be close enough that the pattern is still going to make sense, okay? Now, we do have Hugo's Way right here, but you can use patterns from other places as well. And most of the times, if the pattern is on one of the brokers, guys, you're going to also see it on another broker as well. Typically, not always, but typically. All right. What if your broker's not here? So for instance, a lot of us use one called KLT4X. Hey, that's okay. You can still use the Trader's Way scans. Not a big deal. All right. So once you scan, now here's another important thing. Up here, you're going to see 15-minute scans, 1 hour scans, 4 hour scans, and daily scans. And all that means is that these are the candlesticks that it's measuring the pattern on. So here we see an incredible trade that happened off of the hourly time frame, and it did it right, bounced right off. It did a doji, it bounced right off and hit take profit too. Okay, so what you do is, depending on your broker, then depending on what time frame, then you look for the pairs. Okay, now there are strategies with the 15-minute time frame. And I know a lot of people who trade with the 15-minute time frame that get successful trades. When I've traded the strategy that I'm going to show you, I've typically done it on an hour time frame or a 4-hour time frame. Typically, when it comes to Forex, I typically like longer term trades than shorter term trades. So I don't really take a whole lot of 15-minute trades. You can take them; they work. But I don't typically do that, all right? But you can test this out on demo and really get a feel for it and then make that decision on your own, all right? So this is how the Harmonic scanner works. When you click your broker, you click your time frame, then you go through the pairs, okay? If you notice that the pair already hit a stop loss or already went to a take profit, it's an older trade, you're not going to use it, all right? So like all these are older trades. There are ways, guys, by the way, that if you study Chance and Samantha on Go Live, they teach you a pitchfork strategy where you can actually use these patterns way into the future and it still works. I don't necessarily do that, okay? Pitchforks are a little complicated for my style of trading, and it's very geometrical, and I don't like all that stuff. So, but if you want to learn about that, check out Chance and Samantha on Go Live. Typically, I'm looking for fresh trades. This is a fresh trade, even though it's already towards going into profits. Let's see if there's anything else out here. That's the 1 hour. You know, this one is just starting off, so this is a good one. Now, it is 11:30 Eastern time. Typically, this thing's not going to start kicking till about 1, 2 a.m. When London's running. All right, 1 to 3 a.m. Germany opens and London opens. So when you go in here, let's say you like this trade, all right? So it's near the entry point. You want to know, should I get in this? Now, a couple of things to know. You can just take the trades from the harmonic scanner, and literally here, you've got entry points, stop losses, and take profits, right? You could just enter the trade. Go to your MetaTrader 4, enter the trade. If it's around here, that's a market execution. This is a sell because it's heading in the downward direction towards the take profits. You could enter a sell right now and hope that it hits. But you see, I don't like leaving things to chance. So it's good to look at a strategy based on this harmonic scanner. Now, let me show you guys something. When you go down here, guys, on Go Live, you're going to notice there's a channel that says Harmonics. You're going to click that. All these educators teach on the harmonic scanner. Now, I don't know why Christopher Derrick is here. It's either a mistake or maybe they consider him to teach harmonics. But the ones that teach the harmonic scanner are Manny Quinones, Ray Robinson, Videsh, and Sir Jean-Marc. Sir Jean-Marc has the simplest trading strategies for the harmonic scanner that exists. There was another guy, and he's the one that I'm going to teach you his strategy, Farron. For whatever reason, he's not with us on the platform anymore. Videsh is very good. He does have a strong accent, so it's hard for me to listen to him. Ray is good. He's going to teach you how to become a harmonic scanner, meaning like he teaches you how to find the patterns. And then Manny Quinones, this guy, he's the top harmonic scanner trader, but you got to love technicals. Like this guy, he teaches you all kinds of stuff based on the harmonic scanner. So if you guys want to become experts, Manny Quinones is the way to go, all right? And he's high level, so make sure you've already studied, been charting before you get into his sessions. Now, learn the strategy and then learn how to pick what scans you're going to take in the marketplace. And by the way, guys, if you ever have questions, drop them in the chat box and I'll answer them as we go. So how do I know if this is a trade that I want to take? So I'm going to share a strategy with you guys, okay? And I called it the Farron strategy because this, Farron is the guy that taught it. And you can add things to this, okay? So basically, I'm going to give you guys some indicators, and I need you to write this down because you will not forget, you will not remember this, okay? So first of all, you're going to have an RSI open, okay? So RSI is an indicator, okay? And the input has to be 14 for the length and the source is closed. 14 for the length and the source is closed, and you can change the colors to whatever you want, okay? I keep the upper band at 70 and I keep the lower band at 30, and I'll explain what that means. So again, RSI is one of the indicators. If you don't write these indicators down, you will not be able to use this strategy, guys. So RSI is 14, okay? Source is closed. And then you're gonna add 5 Bollinger Bands, okay, to the charts. So how do you do that? You go to indicators, you type Bollinger Band, and you see it comes up right there. You would click that, and then it's gonna ask you for the settings. So the settings are 50 to 0. The next one would be 52.50. The next one would be 53.0. The next one would be 53.50. And the last one would be 54.0. So again, you're going to add 5 Bollinger Bands, and you're going to do, so you'd go here, Bollinger Bands, you'd click that, and then you're going to set the settings at 52.0. 52.50 would be the next one, so you would open that one, and then you would basically go one by one and then change them. So it's 52.0, 52.50, 53.0, and 0, 53.50, and then 54.0. And those are the settings for these Bollinger Bands here, okay? I am away from my laptop, so I'm screen shooting like crazy. Okay, no problem, all right? Now, important to know, when you put the Bollinger Bands, they don't look like what mine looks like, okay? I'm gonna show you what it'll look like. Let me see. So these Bollinger Bands, they end up having, so you can change the style. If you guys notice, there's a background. You don't really see it on mine too much clearly, but like literally there's always gonna be like some type of background color. What I do, guys, is I just take that off. I don't want the background color, but that's a preference. You could also change the color of the lines, okay? If it helps you, you can make the upper lines red to indicate that if it hits it, you're gonna sell. And then you could also make the lower bands blue to indicate that if it hits it, it's gonna be a buy, okay? But what I do for this specific strategy, I simply do them black because I already understand how the strategy works, okay? So you can change the colors to whatever you want, but the settings do not change, okay? 5.2 or 5.2, or I'm sorry, 52, 52.5, 53, 53.5, 54 are the Bollinger Bands, all right? And I'm gonna explain what all of that means in just a moment. So let's say, for instance, I do this scan on the 1 hour and I see that Euro JPY is on the scanner. I'm gonna go to my trading view and I'm gonna look at Euro JPY. Okay? And I'm gonna go to the 1 hour, which I'm already there. Okay, cool. So here's this strategy, okay? Rule number 1, is the price at the entry point? The answer here is yes. It's already a little late, but the answer, if it was here in this candle right here, the answer would have been yes. Sometimes you'll get here, guys, and it won't be at the entry point. It'll be below it. It'll be all the way in the stop loss. You want it around the green line. Now, in this specific trade, it actually gives you 2 points of reference. It gives you 1 entry point and a second. So if it actually would have came up a little bit more, what the computer is saying is you can still get in it, okay? So rule number 1 is, did it hit the entry point? In this case, it did. Now, the second thing is, where is the RSI? The RSI, guys, always has to hit 70 if you're going to sell it, or 30 if you're going to buy it. So what would that look like? I'm going to show you right now. In order for us to want to get in this trade, according to this strategy, this has to pass 70 if we want it to then come down. If it does not pass 70, we don't get in it, okay? All that this is teaching is that it's overbought, meaning so many people have bought the euro versus the Japanese yen right now that it has to come down sooner or later. So that's all that this is signaling. Well, here's the thing. The price is at the entry point, but the RSI is not ready. I'm not taking this trade according to the strategy. Are you guys with me? All right. So we want the RSI to actually hit it. Okay. Let's see if we find one where it does hit it, or it did hit it. Here, it actually missed the entry point by a little bit. You see that, guys? It missed it by a little bit. It was still a good trade. It's going into profits, but it did hit the end. It did miss the entry point. So that one you would have wanted to be careful with. But look at the RSI. The RSI went way over 70, and then it started dropping. All right. Let's see if we find one where all of them add up. Okay, I would have probably taken this one. So look at this one. So right about here, so price was at the entry point, and right about here, it hit the RSI. It didn't super pass it, but it did hit the RSI. So let's see, GBP CAD. Let's go back to our chart. Let's put GBP CAD. There we go. GBP CAD right here. Okay. So GBP CAD hit the entry point. So that was check mark number one. RSI, it didn't pass 70. I would have wanted it to, but it did hit 70. So I'll take that. So that's number two confirmation. Now Bollinger Bands. Look at this, guys. It hit 1, 2, 3 of my Bollinger Bands, okay? And there was a time where I had hit almost all 5 of them right over here, but the RSI wasn't ready. But even if you would have entered back here, you would have barely been in drawdown. You would have actually been in no drawdown back here. Here, you had all the confirmations. It was at the entry point. First of all, it's a harmonic scan. That in itself is a bunch of confirmations. So it was a harmonic scan. That's why the harmonic scanner called it. It was at the entry point. RSI hit 70. Then you have Bollinger Bands hit. You want it to at least hit 1 to 2, and anything above that is extra. Okay, so how many confirmations? We said it's harmonic patterns, entry point, RSI, Bollinger Bands. Guys, that's 4 confirmations right there. Now, here's the final confirmation that you want to have to get into the trade. Does this next candle, okay, go in the direction of the trade? And if you want to be really secure, if you really want to be secure, does it close in the direction of the trade? So on a 1 hour candle, you would have had to have waited for the 1 hour mark. Now, one of the things you could do, so let's say this is on the 1 hour time frame and you don't want to lose too many pips. You want to make sure it's going in your direction. What I'm saying by this is pretend that this didn't happen, okay? Let me see if I can do this. Let's do it here. Okay. This is called back testing, guys. So let's say we get the harmonic scan because we see that the harmonic scanner called it a little bit before. This is what it would have looked like on TradingView. No RSI, no Bollinger Bands, right? Let's slow it down. Okay. Now this candle comes in, shoots and hits the Bollinger Bands, but the RSI is still not ready. So a lot of people would just jump in right now because, hey, you know, it hit the Bollinger Bands. Let's wait. Okay, it's still going up, but now we've got some wick action indicating that it's rejecting going up. It's rejecting that zone. It's rejecting moving higher in price. Okay, it's still rejecting. So here's the thing. At this point, you don't know if it's going to keep going up and up and up and up, right? But RSI is almost ready. Now we get our confirmation. A red candle. It's headed in our direction. This is a great time to get into this trade. Now from this point forward is when it starts dropping. Okay? Boom, boom, boom. So even if, let's say you would have missed this red candle right here, and you would have waited for it to close, that's still 41 pips of profit, guys. Okay? 41 pips of profit is excellent. Okay? At $1 a point, that's 40 bucks. At $10 a point, that's $400. Okay? Very, very powerful stuff. So wait for the confirmation. Now, what I was going to tell you was if you don't want to wait a whole hour and miss these pips, take it down to the 15-minute. Take it down to the 15-minute. Let me see. Even on the 15-minute though, now this was it. You would have been, yeah, I was trying to see if maybe there was a red candle before it. Let's see the 5. Yeah, you would have wanted to get in at about right here, right? So really you could take it to a smaller time frame. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. Yeah. So you would have still missed a little bit, but hey, I don't know about you guys, but I'd rather not take the loss. So one of the confirmations is you want to see a red candle, ideally close If you're feeling froggy and you want to leap, then go for it. Okay. One of the things you guys can do is you can add the parabolic SAR to this. All right. So here's another indicator to pay attention to, guys, which is called parabolic SAR. I wonder why. Let me do it with. Yeah, but we would have to change the settings on it. Forget the parabolic SAR thing. I'll do that on a different one because I would want to get the settings right. There are parabolic SARs that if you do it tight enough, you see this is what's called an engulfing candle. This candle engulfed this blue candle, and in some cases the parabolic SAR would flip on that, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, the point is if you see a red candle close in the direction of your trade, right, which is this is a sell, you'd be good. On the opposite, if it was a buy and you get a candlestick close in the direction of your trade, you would be good. You are going to miss some pips, but it's more you know, confirmed if you do it that way. Would you still set stop loss at those entries if it's slightly past? What do you mean by that? Would I do my own stop loss? Is that what you're trying to say? Would I do my own stop loss? So if it's slightly past, like for instance, this trade right here, first of all, it's already halfway to take profit one, I wouldn't do it. But like if I, you know, depending on the trade, you could just do maybe to the other entry point. Because look, the other entry point is 44 pips away. So really, you know, stop losses are one of the interesting things about trading is that you got to really measure your stop loss and do your risk management well. So, you know, you want to gauge your trade by how much you're willing to lose on the trade and not lose sleep. So for instance, if you have $1,000 account and you do $1 a pip, you would lose $44. That's about, you know, that's, let me see, out of $100, $4 is 4%. So out of $1,000, yeah, $44 is 4.4%, almost 5%. So, you know, if you did $1 a pip here and you lost this trade and you just put your stop loss at the second entry, that's fine. Because I think that, in my opinion, if you got in here and you take this huge stop loss, guys, that's 76 pips. Like nobody's trying to swing all that. So I would keep it tight. Maybe use this entry point as your stop loss, the second one, and then do it. Let's look at another one to give you an example. Look at this one. So this one, you would have probably gotten in at the second entry point. If that was the case, I would use the stop loss there. Okay. So always use judgment. You always use, you know, common sense and proper judgment because, you know, if a trade's already going in the direction, yeah, you're not going to put this stop loss all the way over here because look at this little tool here, guys, the short position, long position. The short position means you're selling. All right. So if you did that and you wrote it to take profit one, that's a good trade. One to almost 1.5. That's a good trade. If you take this to the stop loss, check it out. That's a bad trade. All right. That's less than a 1-to-1 ratio. You know, unless you're going to ride this to take profit two. You know, if you're going to ride this to take profit two, then that's fine if you want to take it all the way up there. But gauge it by, you know, how much you're willing to lose on a trade. You know, so don't gauge it by, oh man, this is how much I'm going to win, unless you're flipping accounts and you don't care about losing that money. You know, you really want to gauge it by how much am I willing to lose? Am I willing to lose $5? Well, I got to gauge $5 by how many pips my stop loss is. So one of the things that Greg said in the chats is using a Forex calculator. All right. Now, I don't usually use this one. Let me see. I believe it's here. Top charts, auto trade, portfolio, home, economic, forex calculators. All right, pip calculator. Pip calculator position size. Yeah, there you go, position size. So you would go here, you know, whatever your account is. If your account is $500, if you want to risk 3%, okay, if your stop loss, let's say, is 30 pips, and in this case, we're doing GBP CAD, you would go here and do GBP CAD. All right, so there we go. Okay, it's telling you right here, you got to do a 0.06, okay, and you'll be risking 15 bucks. Right, very simple. Now this thing doesn't work on all pairs. It won't work on cryptocurrencies. It does work on gold though. XAU, USD, up. It works on gold and everything. So most forex pairs are going to be on here. And then you guys just put your position size, your account size. I'm sorry, how much you're willing to risk, how many pips is the stop loss. So here, for instance, if the stop loss was if the stop loss is 80 pips, let's just put 80, it's about 79. If you did the whole stop loss, well, you would need to go here and do 89 pips. Okay, so if you had a $500 account, 89 pips on GBP CAD, you calculate that, you can only do a 0.02. This is going to keep you guys consistent. Remember, consistent traders, I'm more impressed by you if you're consistent than if you make 1,000 in a day. If you make 1,000 in a day, but you lose 500 tomorrow, that doesn't impress me. But if you win consistently every day, even if it's $5 to $10, that is a good trader. So that's basically the concept, guys. All right. Let's see if we find another one so we can look at this strategy a little bit more. Now, one of the things I like a lot on this strategy, GBP CAD also has a 4-hour harmonic pattern. So it has a 1-hour pattern and it's the same pattern on the 4-hour, okay? Or some harmonic pattern on the 4-hour. That to me is a double confirmation. If I get harmonic patterns on different time frames and the rest of it also lines up, I'm going all in with that, okay? And then you can use other things as well, like technical analysis and reading the charts. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, on the 4-hour, the RSI never lined up. Right? I'm looking at that right now. The RSI never lined up. So it's not perfect. But on the 1-hour entry, the RSI did line up. So that's the entry that I would go with. And these are the take profits I would go with. You know, but the 4-hour, look at this. Even though the RSI doesn't line up, so I wouldn't have wanted it on the 4-hour. Look how many pips the 4-hour has it going for. So you have an idea that if this harmonic pattern does play out, from the entry point, guys, that's 120 pips right there. How many of you guys would like to catch 120 pips? If it goes all the way down, guys, that's 210 pips. How many of you guys want to catch 210 pips, right? All by utilizing the harmonic scanner. So guys, this thing is literally scanning the markets all the time, okay? And all you're going to do is use these Bollinger Bands, okay, to help you understand when to get into the trade. Use the RSI to help you know when it's going to drop, also when it's going to come up. Let's see if we find some buys so I could show you guys some example of some buys. All right, look at this. Sheesh. This is a good one because it has some stuff that I want to show you there. Yeah, this is good. This is good. All right, let's do this real quick. And you guys are the champions. A lot of people got off of here. You guys are still on here. I'm going to give you guys some sauce for staying on. I'm going to show you some stuff we've been working on. Well, this is EuroCAD. So this is EuroCAD on the 1 hour. This is EuroCAD on the 1 hour. Let's go back to about 1200 hours. That was about right here. Are we sure? EuroCAD. Oh, that's the H4. That's why. H4 on the EuroCAD, 1200 hours. Where we at? 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 Why? 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 It's reading it differently. That's why. EuroCAD, EuroCAD, Hot Forex. So if you guys don't know, whenever you pull up a pair, you got to look up here, and these are the different brokers. Okay. Now this one's on Hot Forex. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find a EuroCAD. Let me see if I can find EuroCAD on another one. Or why is that? That's October. That's October 29th. Let's go back, October 29th. So that's about right there. Let's just do it right there. Boom. Perfect. Okay. So on this one, it did hit the entry point. The RSI didn't necessarily hit it right away. And also, if you notice, guys, it didn't hit it in the Bollinger Bands. Okay? So remember, I'm giving you guys tips and tricks to know how to find good trades, but it doesn't mean that other ones won't hit as well. But here, it did not hit the Bollinger Bands. It did hit it back here, and then it bounced off, and then it hit. Okay? So down back here, it did hit, which honestly is right here. So that actually is right there. So we can actually move. This was the original scan right there and right there, which is actually even better. So that's where the actual scan was, but you notice it pulled back. So this is where the scan was. It went in the direction, it came back. So this is where everybody would freak out. Remember break and retest? Well, guess what? It retested right there before taking off. But this is where the scan was. So let's go through the strategy to see how it played out. Did it hit the entry point? Yes. Is it over the RSI number? Yes. Now remember, before I was telling you up here because it was a sell, but now it's based on down here because it's a buy. So it did pass the RSI. It means it's going to go up now. So two confirmations already hit. Hit the entry, hit the RSI. Now here, it hit two Bollinger Bands, okay? So the way it would have worked is, it hit the second Bollinger Band. You would have actually gotten about 40 pips in profit. You could have closed that at 40 pips in profit. Now this is a 4-hour time frame. If you would have let this thing breathe, and it would have came back to the entry point, guys, look at this. It went for 260 pips. This is from the scanner. This thing comes from the platinum package, okay? So you don't even have swipe trades. You don't even have gold cup. You don't have any of the extras. But just knowing how to use this one scanner, okay? Guys, that's over 200 pips that it ended up shooting. Even if you would have got out at the 40 pip range, shoot, you caught 40 freaking pips, man, right? That's awesome. But if you would have let this thing breathe, it came back, you could have re-entered maybe, and guys, it shot up for over 200 pips, right? And it goes with the strategy. Bollinger Bands broke, RSI broke, right? And entry point was confirmed, okay? And the thing freaking shot up, you know? And if you would have got in back here, look, the little blue, remember I told you, wait for it to confirm? It confirmed right here. You see this? So you would have let maybe this candle close, and then you could have written it up. It was probably about 30 pips. It did come back down, but then it shot up 200 pips. So remember, this is a mind game. Trading Forex is a big mind game, guys. But if you play the mind game right and your psychology's right, look at this, 200 pips. I recommend everybody to read Trading in the Zone or listen to the audio. You can actually get it for free if you go to YouTube. Okay, Trading in the Zone is a very, very powerful audiobook. And and you can get it on YouTube. I got it on audible.com as well. You got to, everybody here should listen to this. It's very, very powerful stuff. So guys, so that's the strategy. Okay. You can also set it up where you can put it right into your harmonic scanner. Let me see where I got it right there. So you can put Bollinger Bands in here. Let's see how many it gives us. 1, 2, 3, 4. It gave me 4. I think that's all I need, right? 5. I need 5. Let's see if it gives me 5. It gave me the 5. Cool. And then your RSI is already there. And then you would come in here and you would just adjust it. Remember what I said? So it's 50 and 2. So I would change this. 50. Take this off. All right. And then I will do it here. Take this off. 50 and 2.5. Then I do this one and 3. So there it is. So you guys could actually work it right into your thing. And then let me see how I can save it. Save new chart layout. Let's try it. And there it is. So now I have the strategy built in. Also, let me change the RSI though, because the RSI needs to be 14 close. Let me see what it is. Yeah, so it's a standard RSI. So there you have it. So now as I scan, it's already going to be there. You see that? All right. All right, guys, any questions on this specific strategy? Any questions on this Bollinger Band strategy? I typically like to confirm it on TradingView, but if you don't have like TradingView, the paid TradingView and all that stuff, I get it. But I like to go to TradingView and confirm all the trades. It makes it simpler on my life. Any questions on that? Let me see if I wanted to show you guys something. Let me see if I find a good example of it. So guys, I started learning how to use volume, especially for like binary options. So volume, you can add it to your TradingView chart. And for a while, I was like, bro, like I don't want more stuff on my chart. Like what the heck? But volume is actually pretty cool because what it does is it gives you something to look at as far as something called divergence. Okay. Now, divergence is when price is going up and volume or RSI is going down and vice versa. So like for instance here, price was going down, but volume was going up. And what happened? It reversed, right? You guys see that? It shot up right after, right? So anytime that you guys see that volume is going in the opposite direction of price, it's going to reverse. And I've been using this for binary options, and it's pretty sick, okay? Now, I haven't played with it a lot on the higher time frames yet, but let's see if we have situations that prove it. So volume, by the way, guys, volume just means how much money is being pushed into the markets. Very important. Volume means how much money is being pushed into the markets. So you could say that this is divergence right here. This went up and it spiked up while this was spiking down. And what do you guys see? Price went up, right? Now, mind you, you're not going to just take trades based off this, but the concept is you could, you could use it as an extra confirmation. Look, it went up 40 pips on the 1 hour time frame, all because it was shooting down, but volume was shooting up. Then you get a big green candle. Green means it's going up, right? So remember, all this is going down. Then all these buyers get in the market, means all this money pumps into the market, and then it shoots it up 40 pips, okay? If you didn't know anything else, but you understood volume, you just made 40 pips. What happens is this: you can use this to also confirm the strategies on the harmonic scanner. So if you see the harmonic scanner is calling out a trade, right? Whatever the trade can be. Let's say it's Euro JPY right now, right? And you don't know whether to get into Euro JPY on the 15-minute, well, pull it up on the scanner, check out the volume indicator, and look for divergence. It's an extra confirmation, but it's very powerful. If it happens, you can put a trade in very comfortably, guys. So if there's a trade you're already looking at, and I used to do divergence with the RSI, which is how I was taught. Oh man, the RSI, the RSI, the RSI. The RSI is cool on divergence, but sometimes it's a little weird for me to read it. When I read it on the volume, dude, it's super easy to read, and also it's just very, very freaking accurate, So I've enjoyed it. So that's one way to do it. You get the volume, you put it down here, you would click on indicators, look for volume, add the volume. If the candles are red, that just means that there's sellers in the market. If the candle's green, it means there's buyers in the market. And when the candle shoots up, then you're just looking for, for whatever color that is, you're looking for that to be what's happening. All right, but you're looking for big moves that go contrary to the price action. So if price is going down, you're looking for the volume to be going up, and then that's when it makes the switch. You're not going to always see that, but if you do see that, that's a big, big move. So look at this real quick. Euro JPY on the 15-minute, guys, has been going up, right? You guys see that? But Euro JPY on the volume has been going down. That to me signifies that this is a very good possibility for EJ to tank, which is also a harmonic scanner trade. All right? So not only did EJ hit the Bollinger Bands, not only did EJ hit the entry point, not only did EJ hit the RSI, but it also has divergence on the volume versus the price. So now you can comfortably get in this trade. If you want to do a demo trade on this, I'm not telling you to trade real money, do it on your own risk, but this is a pretty good trade. Now, mind you, the market is also calm, so I would want to see what's going on around, you know, 2 a.m. when London opens, right? But look, divergence on the volume, right? Something's about to happen here, guys, right? All the buyers in the market are exhausted, and we're probably going to see sellers in the market now pump. So that's another extra tad bit of a strategy that I've been working on. And for binary options, this actually works very well, especially to catch the quick 5-minute moves that you need to get the binary option trades right. Right? Any questions on this, guys? And I like it a lot more than the RSI because for me, it's easier to read than the RSI. The RSI for me, sometimes it's hard for me to see the divergence. I mean, you can spot it, but it's a little bit more funky. Volume, look at this. The volume has divergence, but the RSI doesn't. RSI doesn't really have divergence here like that. You know, I mean, you could say, so this is where divergence gets funky on the RSI, because people will be like this. They'll be like, let me see how I do it. Trend line. So it'd be like, this is shooting down, and they'll be like, this is shooting up. Man, that's so freaking small to see that. It'll drive me nuts. So I have a harder time catching divergence on the RSI. But you could have said that that was divergence there. It was going up there. It was going down here. And then that's when it started shooting down, right? This is easier for me to read. Here it was shooting up. Here it's definitely shooting down. Divergence, I'm okay to get in this. Also, you got a trend line break and a retest right here. A lot of people nowadays, they're against trend lines. I like trend lines. They've been my friend. I've caught big moves, hundreds of pips on trend lines. It broke the trend line, retested the trend line, and it looks like it's going to shoot down. Divergence. I mean, guys, this is a great trade on the 15-minute. Let's all get rich. So, guys, that's our time for tonight. And I hope you guys have gotten value from this. I'm going to drop this video in the chat as soon as I'm able to upload it to YouTube. And, you know, I hope you guys saw value from this. Use the products. The products work. You know, most times, I'm going to be very honest, most times that people don't succeed is because they really don't use the products, right? It's like having a Ferrari, but you don't turn on the engine. You've got to use the Go Live educators. You've got to learn how to use these scanners. Got to learn how to use TradingView. But the more you do it, the better it gets, and the more that you become consistent. And guys, consistency beats short-term wins any day of the week. So